We're diving deep into the fictional world of Snowed in Love.
That's right.
We're going to be looking at character dynamics, some complex themes, and really just why this book is resonating so strongly with readers this season.
Yeah, our mission today is a completely spoiler-free guide.
Yeah.
We want to get into the central tension of the story because we're going way beyond, the cute holiday setting to explore the high stakes, the collision of two completely opposite worlds.
And the true meaning of home?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All found in this remote, fictional coastal town of Havenbrook.
You know, what the sources really reveal is a very modern conflict, but it's wrapped in this, classic romance structure. It's a story that pits this highly curated, filter-perfect digital life against the messy, authentic reality of emotional connection. And the stakes are physical, they're literally trapped by the worst winter storm in a decade, but they're also deeply personal.
Right. It forces the characters to confront who they pretend to be versus, who they really are underneath it all. Okay, let's unpack that initial setup because the clash is it's immediate. We start with Azana Lazrak. She's our main character, and she defines herself entirely by motion. She's a high-flying travel content creator for a blog called Voyage and Vitality.
Very trendy.
Very trendy. And her identity, she's half Moroccan, half French, is all expressed through what the book calls curated escapism.
And think about that term for a second. Curated escapism. Her life is basically a highly monetized performance. She lives out of a suitcase full of designer clothes, silk pajamas, and critically, items that are just completely unfit for where she's about to land.
Oh, like those entirely impractical books they mentioned.
Exactly. She manages thousands of followers, but she's actively running away from anything that feels rooted.
And then her whole polished world just shatters instantly. She's on her way to a luxury contract in Sri Lanka, but then these massive flight cancellations hit.
Because of the storm.
Because of the storm. And she's stranded in this remote little corner of the UK Havenbrook, England, which is described as having the historical charm of Cornwall. But for Azana, it's the absolute opposite of her seamless five-star life.
Yeah, I mean, she's suddenly fighting for a working Wi-Fi signal when she's used to scheduling content while sipping a Mai Tai.
A total nightmare for her.
And that nightmare leads her directly to the inn and right into the path of Nolan Wexford.
Our hero.
Our hero. And his identity is built on logic, control. He is a high-powered London consultant who specializes in streamlining things, optimizing businesses. But when Azana finds him, he's totally stressed out, wearing flannel and scuffed boots, and he's literally wrestling with a failing boiler at the struggling Havenbrook Inn.
His first appearance is just priceless. It sets up the whole dynamic. Nolan's trying to manage the inn's assets, which, according to his spreadsheets, are in a financial nosedive.
Right.
So he's looking at the balance sheet, and in walks Azana, looking like she just stepped off a runway, demanding modern hospitality. And Nolan just sees this entitled attitude.
It's a brilliant setup for the high-friction dynamic. She's judging his entire operation, and he's judging her priorities. Their first conversation isn't just an argument over a room key.
No, it's a thematic clash.
That's it. Azana represents this transient digital future, and Nolan represents the struggling, messy, historical legacy that he feels, completely obligated to save. She thinks he needs an algorithm. He thinks she needs a reality check.
Which leads us straight to the stakes. Because the Havenbrook Inn is so much more than just a setting. It is the core stake of the entire story.
Right. And Havenbrook itself is portrayed as having this really rich history. It has a university that specializes in marine sciences, a thriving creative quarter. It's a town with real depth, and the inn is its emotional heart.
An emotional heart that's under threat.
A huge threat. Nolan is juggling his professional reputation in London with this intense family pressure. His brother is pushing him to accept this. Well, this devastating offer from a developer named Thea Sinclair.
And she just sees it as property.
Exactly. She sees the inn not as a cultural landmark, but as square footage for cold, hard boutique apartments.
That makes Nolan's motivation so much more powerful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's not just saving a building. He's fighting to prevent, and this is a quote, watching the only home I'd ever known disappear.
And the irony is just beautiful. The logical, strategic London consultant has to abandon all his spreadsheets and embrace the emotional, messy nature of a local community to have any chance of succeeding.
And what forces these two totally incompatible people to work together?
The historic Christmas Crossroads Festival. It's an old town tradition the inn desperately needs to revive. It's their one shot to generate income and goodwill before Thea Sinclair's deadline hits.
So they have to go from being, what, bitter opponents to reluctant business partners overnight?
Pretty much.
Wait, the history of that festival is actually fascinating. The sources highlight something really surprising here. It's not just, generic Christmas cheer. Tell us about the heritage element.
This is where the story's deep dive into identity really kicks off. They discover that the Christmas Crossroads tradition is actually a unique blend of British and Moroccan heritage.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the inn's history includes these connections to Tangier, which means the festival itself is a celebration of both the local English past and a North African influence.
And this connects directly and completely unexpectedly to Azana.
Absolutely. Historical documents turn up that show the inn had actually hosted her mother, Aika El Lazrak, years and years ago.
So she didn't just stumble into some random town.
Not at all. She stumbled into the one physical location that is intrinsically linked to her own family history, a history she has carefully packed away and avoided her entire adult life. And that just shifts the whole plot. It's no longer a simple holiday romance. It becomes a personal excavation.
And that really is the thematic core of the book, isn't it? This painful conflict between curation and roots. Azana built her life on this mantra. Home is wherever I don't have to explain myself.
Which is the definition of a life lived through digital filters. It's successful, sure, it's lucrative, but it lacks any real authenticity.
And then this hidden authenticity starts to manifest physically within the inn itself.
It does. They find the original blueprints, and they show a Moroccan Rayatic layout within the building's older structure. For listeners who don't know, Rayatic layout is traditional North African architecture centered around a private, hidden inner courtyard.
Wow.
Yeah, it's designed to keep the most meaningful parts of life hidden and protected from the outside world.
That architectural detail is such a powerful metaphor.
Isn't it? Azana has built her life's performance facing outward for the social media feed. But the inn is literally hiding an inner core, a center of gravity tied to her heritage, which she has fiercely denied. Finding those blueprints is a physical realization of the self she's been trying to escape.
And at the same time, Nolan's facing his own complementary struggle. He knows how to succeed in the logic-driven world of his company, Wexford Strategy Partners, the fast wins, the clean, profitable deals.
But that business logic is directly at war with the emotional duty of preserving the inn's messy legacy. He's caught between his professional success and his personal identity.
And their collaboration forces them to confront these internal conflicts through external arguments.
Yeah.
Azana brings the strategic marketing. She gets 30,000 likes in under 12 hours for the inn's first festival posts.
She wants to make it cinematic, perfectly optimized for Instagram.
And Nolan is stubbornly resisting that. He insists the festival has to be real. He argues over the decorations, the menu, everything. Not because he's an unfeeling grump, but because he's afraid that chasing that fleeting cinematic appeal will destroy the very heart of what he's trying to save.
So their fight over decorating, plastic sparkle versus genuine patina is actually this deep debate about authenticity versus performance.
But in the process of arguing, they start to fill the holes in each other's lives. Azana provides the strategy the failing inn needs, and Nolan provides the grounded connection to history and community that Azana desperately lacks.
And they find this common ground in these quiet, shared moments, away from all the financial pressure. The sources really highlight these powerful, nonverbal points of connection.
Like what?
Like sitting side by side, just sketching out renovation plans for hours. Or standing silently together on the rooftop, watching the northern lights, which Azana realizes is a secret just for us.
Something she could never truly capture or filter for her blog.
Exactly. It's the antithesis of curation.
So that connection of history, identity, and this undeniable romantic tension brings us to the genre appeal. What makes this story resonate so deeply with romance fans?
Oh, it's a masterclass in using the most beloved tropes, but using them with real intellectual weight. You've got the classic forced proximity, they're snowed in, they have to work together.
Right.
But it's not just a physical constraint. They're forced into this intimate shared decision-making about massive emotional stakes.
And we know in romance that tension built from arguing is really the foundation of attraction.
That's it. The arguments establish the spark. Their initial encounters, like touching hands over a shattered ornament or that shared moment in the dark cellar looking for supplies, those little physical moments generate this undeniable chemistry precisely because the emotional stakes are so high.
It's not just a cute meeting.
No, it's two highly defended people being forced to lower their walls while fighting for the same thing.
And you see that tension escalate with all the external pressure. Nolan's constantly being distracted by his demanding London clients by Thea Sinclair, while Ozana is getting these increasingly lucrative offers.
Including that huge Bali contract.
Right, which threatens to pull her right back to her comfortable, curated life.
The book skillfully builds to these pivotal moments, the dance in the snow, the confrontation in the inn's kitchen, that forces them to stop focusing on the next flight or the next spreadsheet and just confront what they truly want.
Do they want the life they planned, or the messy, complicated, authentic life that Havenbrook is offering them? Now, the genius of the resolution, and we'll keep this spoiler-free, is that it completely rejects the classic ultimatum. Ozana doesn't have to sacrifice her career to become a quiet innkeeper.
And Nolan doesn't sell his soul to London consulting. They choose possibility. They realize their connection is strong enough to allow for flexibility. Ozana finds a way to define what she calls rooted wandering.
Rooted wandering, I love that.
It's great, right? She decides to develop a new concept for her brand that uses the inn as her home base, her touchstone, while she continues to travel strategically.
And Nolan finds a sustainable path forward, too.
Yeah.
He defines a relationship that commits him to London for meetings, Havenbrook for life.
So the resolution isn't about choosing one location over the other. It's about building a shared, flexible third space that incorporates all the complex parts of who they are. It totally redefines home from a fixed point to a shared commitment.
That is such a powerful takeaway. The true deep dive of Snowed in Love is this exploration of identity. The power of choosing where you belong, even when that place is the last destination you ever planned for.
Yeah.
It's about letting down your digital guard and realizing that a life of constant motion can still have a secure, authentic anchor.
And, in a world where we can curate and filter and optimize every little aspect of our lives online, the novel leaves you with a really sharp, provocative thought. What happens when the only thing you can't filter is the person standing right in front of you, forcing you to look at your own messy, uncurated truth?
Something profound to mull over this winter.